Hey guys, so I feel like this video has been a very long time coming because I'm pretty sure I mentioned I want to do it in one of my TV sort of wrap-ups ages ago. Like, I'm pretty sure I've done a few since I first talked about this, and that is obviously, as the title suggests, my recent cartoons and animes that I've been watching. Now, I really hoped by the time I came to do this video, and this is why I kept putting it off, that I'd have more to talk about, more shows, more mini-series, but I guess I just fell through the rut of not watching a lot of TV. When I'm at home, I've been spending a lot of time reading rather than anything, or just watching a lot of YouTube videos, and then if I have been watching something, it's been more of like actual, like a human acting, real person, live action, that's the word. That's the term I'm looking for. So I've just not been picking up any anime or cartoons to really like, or anything that I've been really paying attention to, because I've always got something like The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender on, or Korra on, where we've watched it like something a few times and it's just on for comfort. So I've not really had anything super different to focus on, and so that means today I've only got, I think, 4 things to talk about, but I feel like perhaps that's enough for this kind of video. So let's start. So some of these are going to be a bit hazy because they were a while ago that I watched them, but nevertheless, let's get cracking. So the first anime I have to talk about is Beastars. This is a season 1 I put as, because I'm assuming they're going to have another season. I'm not too sure what's happening there, and unfortunately I gave this a 2.5 stars. So, you know, kind of the idea of wanting to do this video as well, which sounds a bit weird that I'm jumping back to this, but it's because I wanted to watch more anime, and although that has slipped at the minute, it sort of helped me to kind of spur that on at the time, and so this was the first one that I decided to do, you know, with that in mind, that I wanted to do a separate video. I was very nervous to try this because I saw my partner watching it, and the scenes I saw made me stop and ask what the heck he was watching. He was left uncomfortable, and then I saw someone on BookTube talking about the manga version of this, because I believe it was originally a manga before they turned it into an anime, and how the anime has made it this more weirdly kind of bestiality sexualized thing that the manga really isn't. So with that in mind, I decided to see for myself how I viewed it, not just seeing random clips, not just getting thoughts from other people, but to sit down and watch it. So the general premise of it is, it's a school trying to encourage the normalization of prey and predator, so carnivores and herbivores, species to coexist harmoniously. And then basically an outbreak of murders happen, mainly on prey, I guess, and, you know, tensions arise because obviously it's kind of breaking that kind of symphony that they're trying to get between the two kind of species. It kind of reminds me of Rosario Vampire in the sense that the human in that anime, Skune, is trying to hide among monsters, and the point of the school is to kind of make it so monsters can live among humans. Though there aren't supposed to be humans in the school, it's more about learning to wear their human faces, etc. And how, like, the killing character has kind of his, like, primal evil lurking beneath the surface, talking to him, kind of like Mocha's internal, like, vampire side, if that makes sense. So I feel like I really connected to it in that sense because it reminded me of Rosario Vampire. I have watched a few episodes of that, but I've read the series rather than really watch it, and I've actually done a video on that if you're interested. So let's get into some specifics. The 7th episode for me was super strange. It had this random chicken intro that was so odd. I like the scenes that had mixed media. I thought that was quite interesting stylistically and pleasing to the eye. Honestly though, this took me forever to finish, and I wasn't certain I really was going to. There was quite a few times where I thought, well, it's been a while now, what's really keeping me going back to this? I just felt honestly super uncomfortable on most viewings, to be honest, and I'm really not sure if I'll bother checking out the next season. I just feel like, as someone did say, I don't think they influenced my opinion, because this is what I originally thought when I had saw my boyfriend watching it, and I was like, what the heck are you watching? I just feel like it was just too overly sexualized. I feel they might have focused in on some, I don't know, things that just put me on edge. Like the things they were highlighting was just a bit odd to me. Apparently the manga does tackle the themes better and gives more of an Animal Farm kind of vibe, I really enjoy Animal Farm, and I like the politics and the kind of social commentary that talks about. So if this is more similar in that vibe in terms of the manga, then I may eventually check that out from the library or something. But the anime for me, unfortunately, just was not it. It just felt a bit creepy and strange, and they zoomed in and highlighted on certain things that just made me uncomfortable, and I didn't really understand why they did that. Like, I get that they're obviously the murders were happening, and then the feelings our main character was getting for another character is warring with that predator and prey side. I get that. I just feel like they could have focused on some more interesting, like the actual structure of being a predator and being a prey, and focus more on that rather than this weird kind of sexual undercurrent that just felt a bit strange to me personally. I know that might be a bit of a unpopular opinion, because I have seen people that really enjoy it, but then I've also seen people that said, yeah, the manga does things better, it expresses itself better. So I think I am more on that side, even though I've not read the manga yet. Just for in terms of seeing the anime, it just made me feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to stop rambling now, and I'm going to go on to a more light-hearted show. This one's the cartoon, and it's The Amazing World of Gumball. I absolutely adore that show. I've always got it on in the background. But this particular one was like a special like mini series sort of thing within the main franchise, and this was Darwin's Yearbook, and I gave this one a 5 stars. So I think I've spoken about this a bit, particularly how I was originally confused with the Banana Joe episode, as I remembered seeing it before. But then I realised this is basically like a best of kind of episode mini series. So basically Darwin this year has the role of, well, I say this year, the year that it's set in, you know what I mean, has the role of doing the school yearbook, and he runs you through certain characters that are going to be on the front cover of the yearbook. So they all get their kind of like dedicated episode, best of episode, commentary from Darwin. He's one of my favourite characters in the show, so I enjoyed that. It is really fun, super light-hearted, as always. And you get more one-on-one time with some of your favourite characters, or at least able to make new favourite characters by seeing a bit more of them, having that focus kind of there. The Carrie episode was great. That was one of my favourites of the like mini series, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. As I say, I'm always watching The Amazing World of Gumball. It's always on in the background, whether it's a new episode or just a repeat. It's always a good time for me. Then we watched another anime, and this was the Blood of Zeus. Again, I've written season 1. I don't know if there's any talks of another season coming or what, but I gave this one a 4 stars. So I really enjoyed this inspiration of Greek mythology. If you guys know me, you know I like my Greek myth in general, but specifically ancient Greek mythology has its like soft, safe place in my body. That sounded weird. In my heart, in my soul. Let's try and make it less awkward. I enjoyed the different style of the giants. They were really cool in design. I love the simplistic thing of the opening scene logo varying each episode to the like plots of the gods. Once again, using humans as pawns and like causing war just for kind of like their entertainment, really. It was, I found, a bit incorrect in some small details in regards to the actual myths, but I think it's more of like an inspired sort of approach. I really enjoyed how they approached the designs and sort of personality traits of their interpretations of the Greek gods. I watched this one in quick succession, which I rarely do. I tend to take my time with things. I don't know, I think I just have commitment issues in that way. Like, I don't want things to end, especially if I'm really enjoying it. So that's saying something. And yeah, it was very entertaining. Again, just briefly, as I realised I didn't give you much of a synopsis, we're just following this character who he's quite a poorer character looking after his mum. He's having a lot of difficulties in the main city. A lot of people are very they kind of look at him as outcast, I guess, and then like these monsters attack, and yeah, it's more embedded within Greek mythology, and it kind of escalates, and you get the backstory and everything like that. So yeah, and then the last thing we watched was another anime series, and this one is Parasite. Again, season 1. I don't know if anywhere else is a season 2, if there's thoughts of it. I think it's a slightly older series anyway, so I don't know if that's just it. So this one I gave a 3 stars. So basically there's an onslaught of parasites from space. A teenage boy basically gets involved with this like parasitic situation with the help from a docile parasite creature thing that's taken over his right hand. It's so fun, really weird, and I was confused how all the girls seem to be drawn to our main character, whose name I've definitely forgotten now, when they only just met him like a handful of times and he showed no interest. I don't really see what exactly was alluring in just that short kind of brief contact. But he seemed to have all these girls basically falling over him. It is really quite graphic in terms of like blood and gore and torture and all those sort of things, which caught me off guard. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but it was there. The conclusion, I feel, came way too fast for me to feel like satisfying in that sort of way. I feel like the pacing was kind of a bit off, really. It should have been like plotted slower, or maybe the kind of proper anticipation of that finale should have been started earlier for that storyline. But overall, it was definitely a good watch. The end, though, like the very end, was very anticlimactic. So yeah, again, not very satisfying in the delivering of the kind of like conclusion and the finale, like the proper finale, but it was a good watch generally. So those are all the shows that I have to talk about today. Let me know if you know you have varying thoughts. Perhaps some of these could be improved, or I could get more out of them from a rewatch, a revisit of them. Maybe if you've got, perhaps you get an understanding of the sort of stuff that I'm drawn to and would generally like, I guess. So maybe you've got things that maybe suggestions that would do it better, or that you feel I would enjoy more. So yeah, things like the Beastars thing, the idea of Animal Farm and that sort of thing. You know, any other animes that does that but maybe better in your opinion, then give me these suggestions, throw them my way. I'm open to it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall speak to you in another one soon. Bye.